Hey, I just want to get really raw and real with you guys again. I'm actually going to turn this motor off. I woke up really early this morning because I didn't realise that it was daylight savings yesterday, so I got up an hour earlier because I was preparing for a phone call, one of a few I've had lately, and thankfully I did a workout before the phone call because definitely for me working out releases all these happy chemicals in my body, dopamine, serotonin, which helps my mental health dramatically. And I am a really positive person, and I look at things in a positive way, and I'm all about embracing all the lessons that I learn in my life and all the experiences that I've been through, and looking at it from a place of learning. And I've been through a lot in my life, a lot more than many, but also there's many people that have been through worse than me. So and there's lots of things that I haven't shared on my YouTube. There's lots of things that I have shared on my YouTube, but I want to just take you through a little bit of what's been happening for me over the last probably few months, few weeks, few months, whatever. I've spoken a little bit about the Royal Commission and that process that I've been going through of sharing my story as a child, going through foster homes and profound psychological, emotional, physical, verbal and sexual abuse, which I had to open up completely and openly to the Royal Commission panel. And thank God my daughter was with me to support me through that process, and continues to. But that's just opened a big can of worms, to be honest, because that's just the beginning of this process. In fact, prior to the Royal Commission, this process started a decade ago with the Ministry of Social Development, which used to be called the Department of Social Welfare. They'd recognised, having had a few survivors, victims of abuse that had come out of the woodwork and sharing their story, that this was a huge problem in New Zealand, and of course it is in lots of countries, sadly. So that process started 10 years ago with the Ministry of Social Development, which I've shared on my YouTube. And now there's a Royal Commission, because that process 10 years ago was handled very badly, very poorly, and they're reinvestigating. Again, I think from my experience so far, there's not a lot of improvement. It still seems to be very cold, very, political, red tape, and not a warm, compassionate experience. So I have all this that I am dealing with on a daily basis. Like this morning I had a phone call with a support service from New Zealand in relation to sensitive claims and ACC. On Saturday morning I had a long phone conversation with a advocate for the Methodist Church, because one of the worst experiences that I had in child foster homes was a foster home run by the Methodist Church, where I was physically abused and sexually abused by a foster father who was an alcoholic and verbally abusive. It just was a very traumatic experience for me. And it was early in the foster care placement, very early after my mother was murdered. So I was already traumatized and vulnerable, and this person took advantage of that. So I'm having these phone conversations quite regularly, and lots of information being bombarded to me in relation to claims and so forth, and it can be incredibly emotionally draining. And thank God I have my kids. They are just my rock at the moment. They are amazing. My son lives in Sydney, and I'm able to call him and just talk about anything. And my daughter lives here on the Gold Coast, and I'm able to go and chat with her, have coffees, have hugs, and just phone her whenever I need to. And I'm blessed. I feel so grateful. And but all this is happening while I'm living in a van, stealth camping on the Gold Coast in a city, working, trying to save money for a bond and, a place of my own. Because as I've shared in the past video, that I am triggered, moving around constantly in a van and not feeling, well, it's illegal for a start, and so you sort of are not in a safe zone where you're looking for a place to camp up, hoping that you're going to be safe and that you're not going to get a knock from the police or anything like that. So you're in a state of survival, which is what I've shared, and so that can be triggering, and triggering of my past too, moving around constantly as a child in foster care. So all of this is happening while I'm trying to find a place to live and working 3 jobs. And so I just want to share with you that, this van life is not, it's not the same when you're just trying to survive and live in a van on a daily basis in a city, compared to traveling around and experiencing and exploring and having adventures. And it's a completely different experience. And you're very much alone. And I feel so grateful that I have a base right now. I'm dog sitting, and I have a beautiful home that I'm staying in for a couple of weeks. And there are a lot of amazing, beautiful friends that I have around me. And so there is so much I can be grateful for every day. And, gratitude is a phenomenal mental health tool, which actually improves happiness by 25%. It's scientifically researched and proven now. So, I have so much to be grateful for. My health, the fact I could do a workout this morning, and that I have friends around me, that today is just a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky. There's no cyclones. And I'm in home, and I have my children. So, and I have work, which I am incredibly grateful for. So, but I just want to be raw and real and honest about how life is not, living in a van is not this romantic kind of experience. And I think, like anything, living in a house, living in a van, living in a car, living overseas, whatever, there are ups and there are positives and there are negatives to everything, life, and that's what life is all about. It's a roller coaster. It's the highs and the lows, and that's what makes it interesting. If it was all just steady and happy, or it would be boring. And so it's about embracing the highs and lows. And for me, realizing, being consciously aware of the lessons that I can learn from every experience, no matter how hard they are. There's always some gift that comes out of the tough times and the adversity. And I'm just hoping, praying that a little base, a house, a granny flat, a unit comes along that I can start to really kind of ground myself and nest, and somewhere that provides a little bit more long-term permanency. And then I can kind of feel a little bit more stable in my mental health, and a bit more of a routine, and a sense of stability. Thanks for listening. Life is busy with my work, with taking care of dogs at the moment, these phone calls, the Royal Commission, YouTube videos, which I try and put 2 out a week, and trying to create content that's going to be interesting and valuable to my subscribers, and editing those videos. And it's a big process, like learning so much, and constantly getting emails from people, experts in SEO on YouTube, saying, your videos are not getting anywhere near the reach they should be, and your content's amazing, but you're just not getting the reach that you deserve. And but we can help you. We can do the SEO, and we can get your videos out there. And I just don't have the funds for that. I don't have the money to pay for an SEO expert. And, I need to allocate my time, my resources, and my mental capacity to other things at the moment. I I want to get my Resilient Rockstar show out into schools, and that's my passion and my purpose. I want to be speaking about domestic violence on the stage more. I don't want to be stacking shelves at Woolworths, which to me doesn't have a purpose. But at the moment, it's paying my bills, and I'm able to save a little bit of money towards this bond for a house. So, you've got to do what you can and are able to do. But look, if anybody on my YouTube is an expert at SEO and can help, and that I don't have to pay for that service, that would be amazing. Because I really believe that I have a lot of value in my video content, and a lot of people are getting value out of it. And so getting a wider reach would be amazing. But I want to say I'm so, so grateful to each and every one of you for watching my videos, for commenting, and being here on my journey, and just accepting my journey up and down, life's highs and lows, and without judgment. I am truly so grateful for that. So I want to, from my heart, say thank you.